Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. Here are common difficult situations in which wording can make the difference between agreement and fury. Of course, every situation is different, but these words have above average potential for yielding positive resolution. For each, I cite the undergirding thinking or communication principle. The first situation, you want to turn down an invitation to get together with someone you don't want to befriend. You might say, "My plate is full, I need to cut back on my social life." Even if that's not strictly true, you'll rarely want to be so direct as to say you don't like them and why. You might do that only if you're confident that the feedback would be helpful and welcomed. The second difficult situation is you think your partner rushes in lovemaking. While making love, with a loving look on your face, gently lower your hand to signal slow down. Sometimes words are unnecessary. The loving look, accompanied with the lowering your hand, avoids seeming too critical. And by the way, it doesn't have to be lowering your hand that firmly. It could be just a little bit, gets the point across. But if that fails, when you're not in the throes of lovemaking and both of you are in a good mood, you might say something like, "I'm not sure I've made this clear enough, but I would, and perhaps we both would, enjoy our lovemaking more if we slowed down a bit." The use of the word "a bit" is a face-saving way to say a fair amount of slowing down. Anyway, the next difficult situation is you're pregnant and you know your spouse doesn't really want a child. Here's possible wording. "I know that you've been ambivalent at best about having a child, and I can understand that it is a huge and long-term commitment of time, money, and freedom. But I just found out that despite using birth control, I'm pregnant. What are your thoughts and feelings?" That preempts objections because she raised those potential objections about time and money and freedom. If she didn't do that, the partner would likely raise those objections, thereby hardening his antipathy. Also, she ends with a conversation opening, respectful question that addresses both head and heart. That is, what are you thinking, what are you feeling, kind of thing. Okay, the next difficult situation is you want to break up with somebody in a relationship. You might say something like, "Much has been good in our relationship. I particularly appreciate," and then you insert the one or two best things about the relationship. "But difficult though it is, and I've given it a lot of thought, we need to end it. You know the main reason. We've talked about it a lot," and you reiterate it in just a few words. "I know that ending it is right for me, and I'm hoping that ultimately for you. I will, of course, have lots of fond memories. I do think it'll be less painful if we make it a clean break and agree not to see or even text each other again." Leading with the positive, of course, sets the right tone, making clear that the decision is a result of careful thought, is non-negotiable, and urges a clean break, avoids the common problem of a relationship dribbling on, even when it's wise for it to end. The next difficult situation, terminating an employee, a counselor that you're working with, a financial advisor, and so on. "I've appreciated working with you," and then insert one or two of the best things. "But I've concluded we need to end things. The main reason is," and then insert a tactful but helpful reason. Possible examples, if it's employment, and if you're trying to terminate somebody, you're going to terminate somebody, you say, "I believe that, as was stressed in your performance review, we were hoping for X." In a counseling or an advising relationship, you're trying to end that relationship with a counselor or like a financial advisor, you might say, "I feel I've learned from you and now have a sense of what I need to do from here. If I'm stuck, I may reach out to you again." Now, not surprisingly, that approach to breaking up with a professional uses the same principles as in the relationship breakup. It starts with the positive, is crisp in ending it, and where appropriate, provides a bit of tactful feedback that might be helpful. Unlike in the personal breakup, though, saying, "I may reach out again," lets the person down more gently without the risk, as in the personal relationship, of it dragging on. The next such situation is when you've been passed up for a job or promotion you believe unfairly. "I have to admit I'm disappointed to have been passed up for the promotion. I thought, indeed my co-workers also thought, that I was the best candidate for the job. I'm wondering if you would tell me what I might do to improve my prospects in the future." While this is direct, it skirts saying the most unvarnished truth, that you thought the selected person would do a worse job than you would. It also makes clear that while you're disappointed, you won't have a chip on your shoulder. Indeed, you've expressed openness to improving. That increases your chances of your boss supporting you in the future. The next situation, you've been caught doing something unethical. One wording you might use is something like, yes, I succumbed to temptation and would understand if you terminated me. I'll just say that it was an anomaly rather than a personality characteristic and can promise you it won't happen again. Of course, it's far from guaranteed whether that'll work. It's going to depend on the lapse's severity, your track record, the boss's generosity, and how indispensable you are. But that brief, non-defensive wording provides an above-average chance of you getting another chance. Next, difficult situation, you've been terminated from your job. Here's a possible wording. Of course, I'm unhappy about it, but like any good professional, I'd like to learn from it. Apart from what was in my performance review, is there anything you want to tell me? That approach may not only yield you useful feedback, but being so professional and graceful about it leaves the door open for rehiring, and for a good reference, and a better severance deal. Now, of course, sometimes fear motivates, and if in your situation you believe it's appropriate, you could add, please provide the proposed severance terms in writing. I'd like to show it to my attorney. And the final situation that is certainly a difficult one is you're telling a loved one that you've decided to forego any more cancer treatment. Here's one possible wording. I've carefully reviewed the risks and benefits of additional treatment in terms of increased longevity and quality of life, given the side effects and prognosis, and have decided to forego more treatment. I need your support in having made this most difficult decision. That wording makes clear that the decision was made with care and isn't subject to change. If it is subject to change, instead of saying, I need your support, you could substitute, what do you think? Takeaway, in most situations, the goal is to be tactfully direct, crisp, and non-defensive. Of course, that is easier said than done, but I'm hoping that those sample wordings may make it easier for you. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.